Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is a beauty look, obviously. A little bit of a break from the Halloween looks I've been doing, but it is still inspired kind of by autumn and Halloween. So the eyes are, you know, slightly pumpkin-y in colour. The lips are of course another like autumn winter trend. So we have the gorgeous burgundy. Oh, and on my nails actually, if you're interested, I'm wearing Berry Sparkling Berry by Max Factor, the Gels Shine Lacquer nail varnishes, which I love, and they do dry very, very quickly, which is one of the reasons I love them, because I'm very clumsy and I don't have patience when it comes to allowing nail varnish to dry. But anyhow, if you want to see how this is done, keep watching. There'll be a full list of products below and on the blog. But if you do want to see what Halloween videos I've done so far, I've done a spider, a zombie, a clown, and a scully kind of thing. So if you want to watch any of those, you can click on the images on the screen and they'll be listed below as well. So I have the skin moisturised already, but I want to pop on a little bit of this Smashbox Photo Finishing Hydrating Under Eye Primer, because I definitely get very dry under the eyes, particularly as the day goes on. It's the first place that the makeup can start to look dry and patchy sometimes. And then I'll pop a wee bit of this guy here by MAC, which is the Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Primer, just into the very central T-zone area of my face, and only a tiny bit. I even make this mistake sometimes too much, where I put on too much primer and it does the exact opposite of what you want it to do, so less is definitely more. So for foundation today, I'm going to use this guy here by Max Factor. I've used it a couple of times already, but not enough that I kind of remember how I feel about it. But yeah, it's the newest foundation by Max Factor. It's the Skin Luminizer foundation. I'm going to use the colour Light Ivory, which is the lightest colour. This is I think it's supposed to be like a luminous matte foundation. Yeah, and it contains kind of good skincare ingredients like niacinamide and stuff like that. And I'm going to use this brush by EcoTools, which I got ages ago and I just haven't actually gotten around to using yet. It's one of those retractable brushes, so it's just an unusual shape. So I'll pop one squirt of this guy out and then we'll see how we go with the brush. So I think these kind of brushes will always take a little bit longer to apply the foundation than the bigger buffing brushes. So, you know, not maybe the most ideal when you're in a hurry. But I personally think skin should be the one thing you actually spend a bit more time on anyhow. It's a very loud brush. I know it sounds weird, but I can really hear the bristles running off the skin as I'm using it, which is kind of strange. Yeah, no, this foundation is actually really, really nice. Don't expect any major spectacular coverage or anything from it. It is quite light and natural, which is what I like. I'm sure you could probably build it up, which I might do after the eyes, but we'll pop on to the under eye area now because I'm very dark under my eyes at the moment. So I'm going to put some of my Estee Lauder Double Wear All Day Flawless. No. I always mix it up. It's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless, All Day Flawless. There must be something else that's All Day Flawless that I have, that I mix it up with. But I'll use the same brush anyhow and see how that goes. So the tip of the brush is making it easy enough to go in around the eye area anyhow. So I touch up underneath the eyes again as well after the eyes if I need to, once the eyeshadow and all that is on. Then for my eyeshadow base, I'm going to use this guy by Chanel. It is one of their Illusion d'Ombre, like it's cream to powder eyeshadow, or yeah, cream to powder eyeshadow. It's the 95 Mirage, which is this gold colour. So I figured this would be like the one I'd get the most use out of when I was looking at the selection, because it is not a cheap product. Well, obviously it's from Chanel, so I always feel like I think that little bit harder about what I'm getting when I'm spending more money on it, which of course would be the smart thing to do. So I'm just popping this on with my fingers. I did get a wee brush with this, but I find it's kind of fiddly. So I actually just prefer to apply this with my fingers. It's very bouncy in the pot. Feels like a mousse, kind of. It sounded really weird. Mousse. Okay. I want to use all Inglot eyeshadows for this because my little task for later on today is to go through all my Inglot palettes and just figure out what colours I have and make sure they're all organised, because these are all my Inglot palettes here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 altogether. 2 of them are in MAC palettes, and then the other 5 are in the normal Inglot palettes, and then I have a small one. But anyhow, the reason being is that Inglot is now online here in Ireland. There's Inglot.ie, so you can buy Inglot online. I haven't had a chance to get to an Inglot store in forever, and I want to get some new eyeshadows, so I need to figure out the ones I have, because when I was looking at online earlier on, I was like, oh, I think I have that one, and then I was like, but I'm not sure. And then I went to get another one, I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I have that one either, so I really need to figure out what I have. I'm going to start off with this guy here, which is, oh, I don't even know if these are the right colours actually. I think it's Pearl 393. I'm just going to pop that right into the centre of the lids. So this one is AMCShine number 15. I'm going to do that either side of the lightest colour. And then I'm going to go into this gold one here, which is kind of like what we're doing from MAC. I think it's Pearl 406, Jesus Siobhan. I think it's Pearl 406, and I'm going to put that in the outer corner. Oh, it's a little bit more bronzy than Woodland actually. Just pick up this brush by Sandler, it's the blending brush. Go back into AMCShine number 15, and then just blend those colours together. I didn't do the best job of blending there, but anyhow, we'll see how you get on. I have to go into my rainbow palette for this one. This one has 2 lids for some reason. But anyhow, I'll go into the orange rainbow, which is 108R, and I'll go into the lightest orange at the bottom and apply that into the crease. These are great, I have to say. They just are so handy having the different tones. You need to use quite a small brush though, like a small tipped brush or headed brush, so that you can be fairly careful about which one you're picking up. Because the big huge fluffy brushes will pick up like a couple of the colours. And I'm going to bring that right up to the inner corner of my eyebrows. So before I go on, I'm going to apply some of this Zoeva pencil. It's one of the Graphic Eyes Plus pencils in the colour Glance, and it's this like bronzy brown colour. Yeah, really, really lovely rich brown. I'm going to apply that into the waterline first and tight line. These are super, super soft colours, but they go onto the waterline really, really well. And they set, so they're waterproof once they dry, which is great. And then I'm going to run some of that along the lower lash line as well. I don't have to be careful because I'm going to smudge this out. I want to work fairly quick with these so that you get them nice and smudgy before they start to set. I'm just going to use a, what do you call this, a cotton bud, and give it a little bit of a wipe back and forth to blend it in. And then with that much done, I'm going to go back into the lighter orange again, which is the Rainbow 108R, and run that along my lower lash line. So I'm bringing the colour fairly low down for this look. Okay, so next I'm going to go into my matte palette, which is this one here. I have it in the MAC palette, but it's mostly mattes. I only have like 2 shimmers here in the outer corner. And I'm going to go into this really, really rich brown colour here. I can't remember the name of it or the shade of it because I don't have it written on the palette, which is what I need to do this evening. So I will insert it either in the video or down below. I'm just going to work that into the crease on the outer and inner corner. And then with that much done, I'm going to move on to a clean blending brush and go back into the orange colour and just blend up the edge again. And then with a small brush, I'm going to go back into the dark brown and use that to bring it onto the actual lid on the inner and outer corner. So I wouldn't have any control if I used the bigger blending brush for this, so that's why I'll need a smaller brush now. And then I'm going to use the same brush, but the tip of it this time, picking up the same very, very dark brown. I love this brown because it's just so deep and intense. There's not many other brands, like makeup brands, that do a brown that dark. And just run that along the lower lash line. And if you want, you can apply a wee bit more of that orange with a fluffy blending brush underneath the lower lash line, just to make sure it's good and diffused. That's enough for the eyeshadow, and I'm going to pop on my lashes, liner and lips, off camera. I'll let you know what I used afterwards, but it'll just save a lot of time if I do that, and you've seen me doing it a million times before. But if not, I'll leave links to my eyebrow routine and eyeliner videos below, and yeah, back in a sec. So we have the brows and everything else I said I was going to do finished off. For the brows, I went quite dramatic and dark, and I used the MAC Deep Dark Brunette Brow Gel. For eyeliner, I stayed very, very thin for the the main body of the liner, and went thin and a little bit long for the tail, and I used my Bourjois 16-hour liquid eyeliner. And then for eyelashes, I just used my MAC in Extreme Dimension Lash. This is the darker one, I think. And I touched up my foundation and concealer. And then for blemishes, I just used some of the Pro Conceal Palette in light, NC15 mainly, tiny bit of NC20 from MAC. So because the Max Factor foundation is slightly warmer than I go for, in that it's slightly more pink based, I am going to use a cool powder, which is this guy by Soap and Glory. It's the Kick-Ass Instant Retouch Pressed Powder. So it is a yellow based powder, and this will help cool it down a little bit, or cool it up a little bit rather, which sounds weird. And then for cheeks, I'm going to use this guy by Sleek. I just took this out of its home there recently and have been enjoying it again since. So it's the Sleek, what's it called? The Sleek Makeup Face Form Contouring and Blush Palette, which is great for, this one in light is great for my colouring. So I'm going to start off with the bronzer colour, or the contour colour rather. Pick some up on my Zoeva Luxe highlight brush. Just tap off any excess. Start to work that into the cheek, and into the hollows of the cheek. I will be wearing my hair down. I always feel like I'm allowed to go a little bit stronger with the contour when my hair is down, rather than up. And then of course I need to apply some to my nose, because I always do. So I will use the Performance E36 brush by Sigma. Just lightly apply that either side. Then I will apply a little bit of the blusher. I don't even know if there's a proper name for this blusher, but it looks a little bit like Spring Sheen or something like that from MAC. Again, I'm going to tap off the excess onto some tissue because I don't want it to be strong. And just place it right above where the contour is, out towards the outside of the face rather than the apples of the cheeks. And then I will go into the highlight as well, and just bounce that on the top of my cheekbones. Actually, I just realised I forgot to put any highlight on my eyeshadow. I don't particularly want to put highlight under my eyebrow, but I will put some just on the inner corner there, where I tend to get that blue vein showing through. So I'm just going to pick up the same highlight on the blending brush and apply that to the centre, or the inner corner rather. Okay, so for the lips, for the first time in my 5-year YouTube career, I'm going to be applying an OCC lip tar on camera. I've never done this before, and I got this when I was in the States at the beginning of the year, but I suppose because I got so many things on that trip, there's a few bits I just hadn't gotten around to using yet. So this is the colour Black Dahlia. So it's supposed to be a really intense dark look. So, teeny bead, probably can't see that. Kind of a distinctive smell to that. I don't know, is that with all the lip tars? Like it's not old enough to be gone off, so it's not a bad smell, it's just a unique kind of smell. I don't know how to describe it. The colour is savage. And I'm just gonna shut up now for a sec and do the outline. It does have like, it's on my teeth. It does have like a bizarrely tar-like texture, which is kind of funny, but it doesn't like feel like it's gonna dry or like shrivel up on the lips. Let me make sure it's gone from the inside. So that's the look done, and yeah, it's a pretty full-on look, but quite seductive, I think. I don't know. It is quite like, you know, dark and seductive, and it is very autumnal, I think. So there's something slightly film noir about it, probably because of the lips. I don't know, I'm just babbling now. But anyhow, there'll be a full list of products below and on the blog as per usual. If you have any questions or anything like that, just leave them below, I don't know. But in the meantime, thanks a million for watching, guys. I hope you like it, and I'll talk to you all really soon. So long.